We are group number 2. I'm Kublai Anandli.
Michael Melko.
Alex Showalter.
And we did census tracts 23 and 30. So we'll start with Okay, so we'll start with census tract 23, which sits between north of the override boundary and kind of southeast of Clifton Heights, University Heights, Fairview neighborhood. It's on the it's in the eastern portion of Mount Auburn. It's kind of characterized mainly by the large Christ Hospital complex that sits right in the middle on Auburn Avenue and some of the adjacent other health services in the area. In terms of the natural settings of the tract, it's got a pretty steep topography, especially when you're heading toward the southeast. And Malcolm will tell you a little bit more about the demographics of the place.
So, getting to know our census tract. It's a relatively young, I'm going to call it a neighborhood. It's a relatively young neighborhood, at about 26.8 versus Cincinnati, which is about 32.5 years old, median age. You have a lot of children and a lot of 20 to 40-year-olds, not a lot of elderly population. It's primarily black at about 67-ish%, with the second most being a significant minority of white people. And it's spread out from there with other for the last 5% or so. It's a fairly poor area. We have about 61.6% of people below the poverty line, and that's accounting for most of the people in the tract. That information will become somewhat significant when we look at tract 30, but for now, it's not terribly significant. Children that are in this tract are primarily in poverty, and the elderly are not very poor. It takes about 16 minutes to get to work, scrolling through. There is about 679 housing units in this area. This area is about 1 acre big. So this is about as many housing units as you'll see later in tract 30. However, tract 30 is twice as big, which is interesting. It's very vacant, which speaks to the poor nature of the area to an extent. And primarily renters with a lot of multi-unit buildings. And the area has about 20% of people who did not graduate high school, which is comparable to Cincy, which has 85%. So it's not too far off in terms of education. It has about 28%, which is slightly below Cincinnati in terms of bachelor's degree or higher. So there is a well-educated portion of the population here, and not very ethnically diverse language-wise. Moving on for a minute.
So for our inventory, we wanted to represent it a little differently, more close to an infographic than an actual map. So what you see here is, this is looking at the closest point to the center. And I think what we noticed, obviously with both census tracts, is like Kublai said, we have a large tenant in both of ours. So in this one, it's a hospital. But what you can tell is that most of the amenities that are listed here are either outside our focus area. And so that was basically what we wanted to show with this. And you can see the number within the tract. And a lot of these are going to be zero. Both of our census tracts, because of that large tenant, are either a large tenant and housing. They're just not walkable. So if you go to the next one, part of the amenities, we did the weekly grocery list. We kind of compare both of them right here. With tract 23, there's only really one place to go. So you notice the price is a little bit higher, whereas for tract 30, you kind of have two. You have Family Market and there's a Kroger. So you can kind of pick and choose that way and maybe get lower prices in terms of that. So that's for the commercial amenities. We also broke it up into civic amenities, but you see a lot of the same story here. That a lot of the amenities are outside of our tract. So, and also if you
Yeah, one of the benefits though, one of the great amenities that we do have in Track 23 is if you look at our epicenter here in the Christ Hospital parking lot, you'll find that it's actually only a 300-foot walk to the emergency trauma center lobby, approximately 1 minute. So if you ever really need to get to the emergency center from our epicenter, this is the tract for you. Other location distances, to get to the Kroger on Vine Street, which would be the closest full-service grocery store, takes about 15 minutes walking, actually, from the epicenter. Or, 15 minutes of walking and a 10-minute ride on the 78 line, which is $1.75. And if you want to get to the public library, it's about the exact same. 15 minutes of walking and a 10-minute ride on the 78.
Speaking of other things that are very useful in this area, we have a lot of bus stops in the area. We sit astride two major bus lines on both our western border and our eastern border and our northern border. So really three major bus stops, which perhaps assists with the poorer nature of the area. Also, we have a high disabled population for this area, about 19%, which is much higher than the other track we'll be looking at. So, when walking through the area, we wanted to point out some of the nicer looking architecture pieces and some of the landmarks that people really would identify in the census tract. There are some murals along some of the walls. You can begin to see some of the topography with the stairs, as well as the way the row houses are built in some areas. And there are churches within our tract that look nice.
There's also a park at the end of this street that overlooks the city. So, and there's also a big green area you can run around and kids can play.
Some additional buildings. The one in the upper left-hand corner is Christ, along with other very interesting architecture pieces along the same road as Christ.
Okay, so moving on to track number 30. If the window was open, you could look out to the west and you'd see in the distance track number 30, which you may be familiar is mostly the University of Cincinnati campus, or the Uptown West campus, and Burnett Woods, and then a little sliver of residential streets that go north, that are on the northeastern side of the tract, which is mostly Bishop Street. So because of that, that is the tract, and it does count students in the census. You'll find that the demographics are a little bit of an anomaly, as is the physical characteristics compared to the rest of the city.
We have about 4,800 people in this census tract versus 1,000 of the previous census tract. So despite the size, this area is much denser, given that it's about 2 acres. It's only about twice as big as our previous census tract. Median age is much younger because all of us.
Well, we're even older.
Yeah, there must be a lot more freshmen than us. So that. We're like 98%. That's a lot of people in that category. Portion there, primarily white, with an even distribution of Asian and Black to round out the rest of the population at about 10% each. But when we're very poor here, however, that's partially because about 3,000 of the people in our census tract are not taken into account when calculating the poverty line, because we live in dorms. A large portion of the people that live in dorms, the census does not enjoy calculating whatever, so they don't do it. So only about 1,000 people, about the same amount of people as in previous tract, were used to calculate. And so the rest of the people living around here, residents, any students that are renting, a lot of us only have part-time jobs every once in a while, so it's easy to see how we could be considered very poor. Similar amounts of housing units, even though we're larger, so the density, and that speaks to the amount of other things in our tract, like the park and the and UC in general. So with the amount of space that we have left, it makes sense that we would have a similar amount of housing units. We're very well educated because we're next to a college. So we did it. We graduated. And speaking to how things are located around the area.
Yeah, so the story is quite similar with this one. I don't know if we realized that when we were picking tracks, but once again, 2 large tenants within this one. So we've decided to include amenities that were on campus.
Primarily publicly accessible amenities.
Yeah, due to the fact that, well, we have a lot on campus, but also because of the demographics, a lot of the big students. So we decided to do that. But the story is very similar. If you look closest to the center, you kind of still have to go a ways to get to some of these amenities. And I think that's...
A lot of students don't need public lawn or stuff.
Right. But pretty, I mean, you know, I wanted these to be pretty self-explanatory. So there's not too much to explain. It's the same story that a lot of these amenities are closer to the edge. And just by looking at these, the intention was to be able to look at a specific amenity. If the line is very long, if you decide to develop within this tract, then maybe that's something you need to address. So in terms of restaurants, the last one, if the restaurant is very far away, you want people to be able to go there, maybe restaurants, something people like that. So that's kind of the idea.
So now you're asking yourself now, okay, but what if I need to get to the emergency room? So here you are at the epicenter, which is actually right on MLK when you exit Burnett Woods. Fortunately, it's right next to a 51 stop, and you can choose to take that and get off right on Clifton Ave, right in front of Good Samaritan Hospital. And that would only be about 10 minutes, that would only be about 5-minute bus ride, and then you just have to walk up the driveway about 500 feet to the emergency room. If you needed to go to the emergency room, but you were also somehow able to walk yourself there, it would only be a 10-minute or half-mile walk from that epicenter location. Now, if you wanted to get downtown to go to the library, fortunately taking the 51 might not be the most convenient way to get there. You want to take the 19, which comes down over there on, I believe that would be Jefferson turning into, changing its name at some point. But that would be, that would take about 10 minutes of walking and a 20-minute ride on the 19 line, which, as you all know, would be $1.75. And then if you wanted to get to the closest grocery store, Clifton Nutri-Foods, it would be either a 15-minute walk, 3/4 miles, or a 6-minute ride on the 51 line. And as we all know, though, the Clifton Market and the new Kroger will be opening soon, so all that data will be moved.
Getting a sense of both the residential character of the area towards the northeastern portion. We have 2 interesting multifamily developments. It's a mixture of multifamily, single family, and thought the architecture of the multifamily looked really interesting. So we wanted to display some of that. The one on the upper right-hand corner is student apartments, relatively newly designed. And we have that interesting architecture. I felt like I shouldn't skip it out, especially since we read the painting on the panels. That looks nice. As well as EPA. EPA looks surprisingly cool, which I've never noticed before. This is the back side, facing the business district on the northeastern side of campus. How did that
That's the one time that you think you're doing.
I think we're at 15 minutes. I'm not a metronome.
These are the rest of our pictures, which you all know what they are. Any questions?
We were at the bus.